Have you ever wondered if your prostate could actually shrink on its own? Not with surgery, not with medication, but naturally? Most men over 50 assume that once the prostate starts growing, it's a one-way street. Bigger prostate, more bathroom trips, more frustration. But what if I told you there are specific signs that your body is actually reversing that process right now? And what if one simple daily habit could trigger that reversal? If you've been waking up multiple times at night or feeling like you can never fully empty your bladder, what I'm about to share could change everything. Today, I'm breaking down the 3 signs your prostate is shrinking naturally and the one habit that makes it all possible. Stay with me because sign number 3 is the one most men completely miss. I'm Dr. Narita, a urologist with 12 years of experience helping men over 60 reclaim their vitality, strength, and confidence. I've sat across from thousands of men who walked into my office convinced their prostate problems were permanent, that their quality of life would just continue declining. And time after time, I've seen how the right approach can restore comfort, sleep, and dignity in ways they thought were gone for good. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that like button and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I love connecting with men from all over the world who are taking their health seriously. Here's what most men don't realize about prostate enlargement after 50. Your prostate doesn't just grow because you're aging. It grows because of specific triggers in your environment, your diet, and your daily habits. And here's the thing that gives me hope for every man watching this. If triggers can make it grow, the right changes can make it shrink. But most men never get to experience that reversal because they're stuck in 3 painful patterns. First, they accept it as inevitable. They think, I'm 60 now. I guess I just pee 10 times a night. Second, they ignore the early signs that their body is actually trying to heal. And third, they focus on managing symptoms instead of addressing the root cause. It's like bailing water out of a sinking boat instead of plugging the leak. That's why today I'm going to show you the 3 unmistakable signs that your prostate is shrinking naturally and the one daily habit that can trigger that process for you. Let me start with the most life-changing sign. You're waking up less at night to urinate. When your prostate is enlarged, it presses on your urethra like a garden hose with a kink in it. That pressure creates a false signal to your bladder that it's full even when it's not. So you wake up at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 5 a.m. Stumbling to the bathroom, and you barely produce anything. But when your prostate begins to shrink, that pressure releases. The urethra opens up. Your bladder can finally hold a normal amount of urine without sending panic signals to your brain. Biologically, here's what's happening. Inside your prostate, there are alpha-1 receptors. When these receptors are overstimulated by stress hormones or inflammation, the smooth muscle around your urethra contracts. It's like a fist squeezing a straw. But when inflammation drops and those receptors calm down, the muscle relaxes. The prostate tissue itself begins to reduce in size, especially the inner zone that wraps around the urethra. Think of it like a swollen ankle returning to normal after you ice it and elevate it. Emotionally, this is where men start to feel hope again. I can't tell you how many patients have told me, "Doc, I got 4 hours of uninterrupted sleep last night for the first time in 2 years." Sleep is everything. It affects your mood, your energy, your testosterone levels, your ability to think clearly. When you're not dragging yourself out of bed multiple times a night, you start to feel like yourself again. You wake up refreshed instead of exhausted. Your wife stops sleeping in the guest room. You stop planning your life around bathroom locations. Practically, here's how you measure this. For the next 7 days, track how many times you wake up to urinate. Write it down. If you're currently at 4 to 6 times per night and that number drops to 2 or less, your prostate is responding. That's a biological marker of shrinkage. Most men notice this change within 2 to 3 weeks of implementing the habit I'm about to reveal. Let me tell you about Robert, a 64-year-old retired teacher. He came to me absolutely defeated. He said, "Dr. Narita, I can't remember the last time I slept more than 90 minutes straight. I'm exhausted. My wife is exhausted. I'm considering surgery just to feel normal again. After we implemented one specific daily habit, he came back 4 weeks later and told me, I slept 6 hours straight last night. I actually cried when I woke up because I forgot what that felt like. That's the power of natural prostate reduction. The second sign is something you'll notice every single time you go to the bathroom. Your urine stream is stronger, faster, and you're emptying completely. When your prostate is enlarged, urination becomes this frustrating, slow trickle. You stand there waiting. You push. You strain. And even after you think you're done, you're not really done. You zip up, walk away, and feel that uncomfortable dribble. But when your prostate shrinks, the urethra opens like a floodgate. The flow becomes forceful. You finish quickly. You feel empty. Biologically, this happens because of 2 reasons. First, as the prostate reduces in size, the physical obstruction around your urethra decreases. Imagine removing a clamp from a water pipe. Second, the bladder muscle, which has been working overtime to push urine past that obstruction, finally gets to relax. When your bladder isn't constantly straining, it functions more efficiently. The medical term is detrusor stability. Your bladder wall, which may have thickened from all that compensating, begins to normalize. Emotionally, this restores a sense of masculinity and control that many men didn't even realize they'd lost. One patient told me, I didn't know how humiliating it felt to stand at a urinal next to other guys and barely produce anything until I got my stream back. Urination is such a private thing, but it affects confidence in public restrooms, at work, on road trips. When you can urinate with force and efficiency again, there's this quiet dignity that returns. Practically, here's the test. Next time you urinate, count how many seconds it takes from start to finish. A healthy flow for men over 50 should empty your bladder in 15 to 25 seconds, depending on volume. If you're currently taking 45 to 60 seconds of weak trickling and that drops to 20 seconds of strong flow, your prostate is shrinking. Another sign, you stop experiencing post-void dribbling. You finish, you shake, you're done. No more wetness in your underwear 5 minutes later. Michael, a 59-year-old contractor, came to me because he was embarrassed on job sites. He told me, I avoid drinking water because I don't want my guys to see me standing at the porta potty for 5 minutes. After 3 weeks of the habit I'm about to share, he said, Doc, I'm back to normal. In and out, it's like I'm 35 again. That's the kind of transformation that's possible. The third sign, and this is the one most men overlook, is the disappearance of urgency. That sudden, desperate need to go right now. You know the feeling. You're in a meeting, you're driving, you're at dinner, and out of nowhere, your bladder screams at you. You have maybe 2 minutes to find a bathroom or you're in trouble. When your prostate is enlarged, it creates this hypersensitive bladder state. Your bladder is constantly irritated, constantly sending emergency signals. But when your prostate shrinks, that urgency fades. You can hold it comfortably. You can finish what you're doing. You're in control again. Biologically, this happens because inflammation decreases. An enlarged prostate releases inflammatory cytokines that irritate the bladder wall. It's like having a pebble in your shoe. Even when your bladder isn't full, it feels uncomfortable. But when the prostate reduces in size and inflammation drops, those cytokines decrease. Your bladder wall calms down. The nerves stop firing false alarms. You return to normal sensation where you feel the need to go, but it's a gentle reminder, not a crisis. Emotionally, this is freedom. Men who live with constant urgency plan their entire lives around bathroom access. They won't go to movies, they won't take long drives. They sit on the aisle in church. They turn down invitations because the anxiety of not having immediate access to a bathroom is overwhelming. When that urgency disappears, life opens back up. You can travel, you can enjoy events, you can relax. Practically, ask yourself this. Can I comfortably hold my urine for 2 hours during the day? If the answer is no right now, but in 3 to 4 weeks the answer becomes yes, your prostate is responding. Another marker, you stop doing the urgency dance. You know what I'm talking about. That moment where you're clenching, shifting your weight, trying to hold it while you frantically search for a restroom. When that stops happening, your prostate is shrinking. David, a 67-year-old retiree, told me, Dr. Narita, I couldn't go to my grandson's baseball games anymore because I'd have to leave in the third inning to find a bathroom. The urgency was unbearable. After implementing the one habit I'm about to reveal, he came back and said, I sat through the entire game last weekend. I didn't even think about the bathroom once. I watched my grandson hit a home run and I didn't miss a second of it. That's what this is really about. It's not just about urine flow. It's about your life returning to you. So what is this one habit that triggers all 3 of these signs? It's walking. Simple, daily, purposeful walking. Not running, not intense cardio, just consistent, moderate walking for 30 minutes a day. Here's why it works. Walking improves circulation to your pelvic region, reducing inflammation in the prostate. It lowers stress hormones that trigger those alpha-1 receptors I mentioned earlier. It helps regulate blood sugar, which directly impacts prostate growth hormones. And it strengthens your pelvic floor muscles, which support bladder function. But here's the key. You have to be consistent. Every single day. No excuses. Start with 15 minutes if you have to, but work up to 30. Walk at a pace where you can still hold a conversation, but you're breathing a little heavier. That's the sweet spot. And the beauty is, you don't need a gym, you don't need equipment, you just need a pair of comfortable shoes and a commitment to yourself. Now here's what I want you to do starting today. Track your nighttime bathroom trips, your stream strength, and your urgency levels for 1 week. Then start your daily walking habit. After 3 weeks, track again. I promise you, if you're consistent, you will see improvement in at least one of these 3 signs, and likely all of them. Gentlemen, I've seen this work in my practice for over a decade. Men who were ready to go under the knife, men who had given up hope, men who thought their best days were behind them. And they walked their way back to comfort, confidence, and control. You can too. If this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe so you never miss my men's health updates, and drop a comment telling me which of these 3 signs you're most excited to see improve. I read every single one. This is Dr. Narita, reminding you that your body is designed to heal, and sometimes the simplest habits create the most profound transformations. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.